Teslin Figaro, a former Bernie Sanders campaign staffer, and she's founder of the Teslin Figaro Communications Group. Austin Goolsbee is here. He's previously the President Obama's chief economist and is an economics professor at the University of Chicago's Booth School of Business. And Nomiki Konst. She's a Bernie Sanders supporter and founder of the Accountability Project. Great to see you all.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really unbelievable when you look these emails. They clearly show that the DNC was working to elect her over Bernie. There's no question they had their thumb on the scale. They talk about him very negatively, and in particular, the knock on his faith. They appear to conspire to raise his faith against him, and the response is amen, like, yes, let's do it. Teslin, let me start with you. Your thoughts about it?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, I've seen this throughout the entire Democratic Party. It's not just the DNC, the leadership there. I've seen it across the state of Florida on every campaign that I've worked. It's been a constant rhetoric about how Republicans are racist, how Republicans are the big, bad, evil ones. But what I have consistently seen throughout the Democratic Party, and we have the results and the numbers to back it up, that there has been constant racism within the party. There's been constant gender issues within the party, and as we can see, even comments against religion. So I'm excited to see that the party has been exposed for what it is. Trump called Bernie Crazy Bernie for saying that it was a conspiracy, that it was rigged, and we see that it was, and I'm hoping that Senator Sanders pulls his support.
What about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who ripped into the Republicans for, all sorts of things, including misogyny? She's been all over Trump for misogyny. There's a memo from her vice chair calling a very well-known news anchor a bimbo. Is there a response from her saying, we don't talk like that, that's not appropriate? Not that we've seen. The hypocrisy in these emails, Nomiki, really paints an ugly picture.
I'm a Democrat. I believe in the Democratic Party. I think that the past 10 years we've had the wrong leadership in the Democratic Party. I think it started with Tim Kaine, quite frankly, when he came in and he took us apart from that 50-state strategy and wanted to encourage leaders across the country to run and to build their parties up, and he took it to a fundraising factory. And then it continued on with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This is a clear cultural problem. There needs to be a cleanup of our party. We saw it in the emails. We see it in our leadership. The CFO should be fired. The CEO should be fired. And the way that they're treating the Bernie Sanders delegation, I'm a delegate down there, they're telling us to put our signs down. They're telling us to unify. Well, what I would like to see is we're 46% of this party now. We have taken over the party in many states. We are Democrats, we're liberals, we're disaffected voters, we're union members, we're independents, we're new voters, we're young people. We are the future of this party, and they need to come to us and say, what can we do to get you?
Austin, today there was a remarkable moment where Bernie was speaking to his constituents, Bernie Sanders, and he mentioned the name of the nominee, Hillary Clinton. Watch what happened. Let's play it.
We have got to elect Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine.
The booing went on for over 20 seconds. You know, given the fun that the Democrats had at the Republicans' expense last week about a party not unified?
I'm sure everyone, and I was there, we talked, I was having a great time at the disunity of the Republican convention. We're all kind of eating a little humble crow. It's true, we had a raucous and long primary. The Sanders people are close to the, 46% or something of the delegates. I think it's a little different than in the Republican Party, where you had the #2 candidate basically condemning the nominee from the floor. You had the #3 candidate.
Well, he said vote your conscience. Bernie's expected to say vote for Hillary.
The #3 candidate, John Kasich, would not even show up at the convention. So I think it is a testament to the Sanders people. They're here. The Democrats have always been a little raucous. We like some protests. There's always going to be some cheering, some booing. I think the most unifying thing for the Democratic Party is that Donald Trump opens his mouth.
Teslin, what do you think?
I disagree. I think that is weak. I think people are folding like a napkin. What is the point of having a revolution if there's no consequences? If I was Senator Sanders, I would ask my delegates to leave the floor.
Really?
Oh, I don't think so. I have to disagree with you on this.
Yeah, but I'm an independent. I'm not a Democrat. I think that there's no consequence. If people continue to fall in line and sing Negro spirituals like they were doing this evening, there'll never be a consequence. You'll never be respected if you do not show that you cannot toy with me, as Donald Trump said earlier this year.
What about Nomiki? Because they booed everyone who mentioned Hillary's name. There were some tweets out today saying, maybe they should think about not mentioning her. You know, because every time they say Hillary
The
Clinton,
secret in the room is
she
this
got
woman's running for president.
food. Even the chaplain who said her name in the
that was
prayer
early.
got
In
food.
fairness, that was early in the day. Here this evening, it hasn't really been.
The reason why, as a delegate,
nuts. When Sanders speaks, they're going to go nuts.
I got to tell you, I've been
Both sides
walking
are.
around. People are tuning out the speeches. I've talked to multiple delegates who feel very disheartened by this process. They're not being included in their own delegations. They're being treated like outsiders. I think a very strong, I'm sort of in between both of you here. I think a very strong message needs to be sent to the party that they need to respect these delegates and give them more. You know how? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you how. Whoever is the chair needs to be working, and the Hillary Clinton campaign manager, Robbie Mook, needs to give us more. They have not been giving us enough.
Has it happened?
They haven't.
Right, and you're continuing to vote.
All right, I got to leave it at that. But final thought, Al Franken last week called the Republicans, he said it sounded like, what was it? A Banana Republic chant, lock her up, lock her up. And yet, what did we hear right here at his own party's convention tonight? Same chant.
Well, it wasn't.
Outside.
Oh, it's totally different. It's totally
different people. It was out with the protest.
They were Democrats.
What those guys were saying at the Republican convention, you cannot, at the outside
what the Democrats were saying here was, hell no to Hillary Clinton. That's her nominee. No, but there were other chants. I understand. I mean, it's late at night, but it's not that late. So you just got to Google it. Great to see you all.
Thank you.
Joining me now for a quick reaction, Sheriff David Clark, who's the Milwaukee County Sheriff. Sheriff, great to see you. What did you think of Senator Booker's remarks?
What's he so angry about? I mean, when Donald Trump uses that kind of passion, they say he's angry. But the only thing he didn't use was a car in every driveway and a chicken in every pot. A lot of latitudes there. But he talked all around a big problem for the Democrats this fall, and that is their flawed candidate, Mrs. Bill Clinton, who should have been under criminal indictment. She's a confirmed liar. She left people to die in Benghazi, all that kind of stuff that he just kind of like, you know, acted like it wasn't there. But that stuff matters to the American people. So, you know, this thing will go on just like the RNC. They'll get their pom-poms out and you rah-rah and whatnot. But stark contrast, I think, with the Republicans. Donald Trump is the law and order candidate. And this DNC seems to be about embracing criminality and criminal behavior, trying to mainstream criminal behavior, hold these individuals up as if they're martyrs and symbols of the new civil rights movement.
Well, let's just talk about, let's just frame that for the viewers so they know what you're talking about. So tomorrow night on stage here, the mother of Michael Brown, the 18-year-old who was killed by a police officer in Ferguson, Missouri, among other mothers of African-American men who were killed at the hands of police officers, will take to the stage. Michael Brown's mother is the most controversial, however, because her son was the aggressor against a police officer, and while he lost his life, the DOJ concluded it was because of his own actions in attacking a cop. Go ahead.
Well, I think they all, if you look at a common denominator among most of those there, they were resisting arrest. Eric Garner was resisting arrest. Freddie Gray was resisting arrest. Michael Brown attacked a law enforcement officer and tried to disarm him. Another one, a guy from Milwaukee, Hamilton, was beating a Milwaukee police officer with his nightstick when the officer had no other choice but to use deadly force to save his own life. But the thing is, look, moms are going to do what moms do. Moms love their kids no matter what. We all get that. But here's the question I have, Megan, and I keep asking. Where are the dads? When there are no fathers around to shape the behavior of young boys growing up, they grow up to be unmanageable misfits that the police then have to deal with aggressively.
Sheriff Clark, always good to get your perspective as somebody who's actually on the street saving lives and protecting a community. Thank you, sir. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Megan.